welcome to week 5 of the rotation. My name is Jonathan. With me is Jon and Mike over there. How's it going tonight, Mike?
It's going well. Ready for another round of baseball talk.
Yes, sir. We
Ups
got a
and
lot to
downs
talk
for you.
about. Yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about and a lot to go over here this week. A lot of exciting news for our Yankees this past week. Getting back Mr. Aaron Judge. Mike, I'm going to let you roll it away with your first take for the Yankees. We're going to do one take a piece. If you're not used to this show, what we do is we take our Yankee talk for minimal because you don't want to hear us talk about the Yankees like everyone else does. So, Mike, throw it over to you for your take of the week from the Yankees.
My takeaway from the week for the Yankees is that Judge is the energy of the whole lineup. He truly is the captain. I mean, because they were playing like absolute hot garbage while he was out, and then he comes back in the lineup and suddenly everybody can hit. Yeah. And then with that comes the support of offense. Seems to have brought better pitching from a lot of the guys that maybe were struggling going in. I know tonight, as of this recording, they had like a opener, I guess you call them in baseball now, Jimmy Cordero, 2 no-hit innings he threw. So it seems like the whole team is at another gear. And so I think that speaks to not only his on-the-field play, but his off-the-field impact. What's yours?
Yeah, I think Mike's thinking of talking about, for everyone that's listening to this, not on the day of the game. It's May 15th against Toronto. My takeaway is Mr. Anthony Volpe. He has caught fire over the last 2 weeks. He has continuously hit the ball. Hit his first grand slam. He's crushed it, over the last couple weeks, and really has, developed into a really awesome player. And defensively, he's made some really key defensive stops. Haven't been able to watch the game still. I now see that MLB is starting to allow that, but I haven't been able to see a game yet. But that's my take of the week is Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, no.
And if you're in this part of the show, we love the Yankees, but we're not going to talk all about the Yankees.
No.
So,
but I think that's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony Volpe. Judge returning was huge for the Bats, but yes, Anthony Volpe and Aaron Judge. Moving on to our 5 takeaways. If you're not familiar with our rotation show, how it works is Mike and I each come up with 5 takeaways of the week prior, or if we miss a week, we usually do the 2 weeks. We'll do. That's why it's called the rotation. Rotation, 5 pitchers. That's what we do. Five takes. We'll do our hot takes. Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are. And definitely if you see something that you want on the show, let us know. If you want to join the show, let us know as well. Mike, thrown over to you for the rotations. 5 takes of the week.
So my first takeaway in the rotation this week actually does have a little bit to do with the Yankees as well, which is that Harrison Bader is a difference maker. And I think that would be true whether he was a Yankee or whatever team he's on. He has come back from injury and not only has been hitting the ball well, but has been playing the field really well and bringing a lot of energy. I think he is proving that he is a more impactful player and a better player than anybody ever gave him credit for. He only got credit for his defense. I think his offense is coming together well. So Harrison Bader can be a difference maker in this league.
Oh, 100%. When we got him from St. Louis, I was very confused because Montgomery was pitching well. So I didn't understand the move. But now it makes a lot of sense because he's playing well. And it was kind of an even trade when he got in the field for the Yankees. So definitely something that, we're excited as Yankee fans to see him out there. He brings an energy. He brings a happiness like a little kid out there. He grew up in Bronxville, which is right, Bronxville, not too far from Yankee Stadium, about 30 minutes from there. Definitely a lift off the bench.
Yes. What's your first takeaway this week?
My first take of the week is non-baseball. It's baseball, but it's baseball like more or less about like the business side. The A's reach a deal on a new stadium there in Vegas, and they haven't announced they're officially moving, but it's all pointing in the right direction. That the A's will be in Vegas here in the next couple of years. They will be out of their place and into Las Vegas, where Oakland will only have the Niners and the Golden State Warriors left. So, but I mean, the city of Oakland kind of did it to themselves in that aspect. So, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the Oakland A's and Oakland in general losing teams like they have, because they lost Golden State, they lost the A's, now they lost the Raiders. What are your thoughts?
Well, actually, funnily enough, that was my second takeaway this week, was that the A's are moving again. Yeah, Oakland, it's just the Raiders were the ones that honestly got me, because they at least have a vocal supportive fan base.
Yeah.
But I think part of me thinks that it has a lot to do with just the locations that these teams were playing in and the arenas these teams were playing in. I mean, the Warriors, they just wanted, coming off a dynasty type, like in the middle of their dynasty, like they wanted a new fancy place to call their own in a better part. They're hoping better part of the area. Yeah. But, the Raiders and A's, that Coliseum has not been the same since the earthquake during the 89 World Series. It's falling apart. And the city's
literally,
that's what I think is making them lose it the most, is the city's refusal to do anything for their teams.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know all the logistics, right?
Right.
But you're right on, spot on. I mean, I've heard ever since I watched that 30 for 30 document where the people were saying this. I think it was San Francisco. I think it was Candlestick was the park that was the one that shook. But I mean, the earthquake affected the whole entire city, and I'm sure it affected, what we see today as, the A's stadium and what we see in Moneyball and everything like that. It's not a safe stadium. There are foundational issues, so they need a new stadium. Plus, it'll get a new fan base in Vegas. They don't have a fan base. They have a minimal fan base in Oakland. And, you're going to get a lot of fans because of the area. You're going to get all that. So you're going to get a lot of new fans and tourists. I mean, I say it all the time. If you're going to put a team in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I think the league has wanted to do that for a while, especially since the Golden Knights did well when they were founded for the NHL there. The Raiders move went well there, and they have a nice stadium. I think the league has been eyeing Vegas for a while now, and so it kind of just works out that the A's and Oakland can't agree to a new stadium. So the league's like, well, hey, go to Vegas, and Oakland's like, okay. Like the A's are like, oh, all right, yeah, Vegas sounds good. So yeah.
All right,
yeah,
Mikey,
that was also my second.
Second take. Okay, so your second take was the A's. Mike's and I tied. We had the same pitcher for that rotation. All right, so I guess what's your third then? I'll go to my second. Or you want me to just go to my second since that was your second?
Go to your second. Go to your second.
Okay. Shohei Ohtani is just continues to dominate. He's 4-1, 2.74 ERA. He's batting over 287, 8 homers. 26 ribbies, and the guy is just a freak of nature, and he just looks like he's having so much fun with baseball. I know I said it on week 1 when we were talking that he's a freak of nature, but it just continues, and it's just like, is there any lull that this guy will go through? Will he go through a slump? Because it doesn't seem like he will, and it's very impressive to watch him, and that's why I think ultimately he should go to an East Coast team next year, because I know he'll probably stay with the Dodgers or stay in LA, but coming to an East Coast team is going to get a lot more exposure. Notoriously, people don't stay up to watch these games at 10 o'clock games. That we talked about it on the show on Thursday. So, he just continues to dominate.
Yeah, I mean, he's incredible. And the thing is like, even if he's not hitting well, he's pitching well. If he has a bad start, he comes out the next day, hits 2 home runs. So the dude's a monster, and he's not going to win as many MVP awards in his career as he should, simply because it's going to get old giving it to him. But I think yeah, exactly. We got to give it to someone else. Yeah. So, but I think he's going to win multiple MVP awards. He's incredible. I've been saying it for a long time. I think he's going to be a Dodger. And the thing, I agree with you. Exposure on the East Coast is a lot better nationally, obviously, because of the time zones and televising of games and stuff. Thing is, with the West Coast team, the people in Japan are going to stay up longer, are going to be
Yeah.
up to listen and watch the games, which
Mm-hmm.
seems to be very important for a lot of these Japanese players, is that their families back home can watch or listen to them playing. And besides, the Dodgers have been clearing money over the last couple seasons, not signing guys like Bellinger and,
Right.
restructuring deal, not signing Justin Turner, getting Kershaw on just a 1-year deal.
Right.
They're saving money, and I think it's for Ohtani.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you got a good point there. And, ultimately, when it comes down to it, we just have to, see it for what it is. I don't think he's going to be like Mike Trout and sit there for 11 years and waste away in the Angels organization who hasn't built around him. So, yeah. All right, Mikey, let's go with your third take. Since Mike's take, everyone, maybe just tuning in, his take was exactly what my second take was, or first take was the A's reach a new deal with the Vegas Stadium. So, Mikey, what's your third take of the week?
My third take of the week is a little more recent one in the event, but Bryce Harper gets mad easily.
Yeah, he got mad.
He got big
for no
mad.
reason.
He got fired.
He hates being like. He hates being like. I don't know. He just hates being talked to at all, or talked trash to. It's like, dude, come on now. Like, but you can do it, right? Like, you can throw your bat flip, pump your fist, do all that type of stuff, but like, you don't get mad. And then, like, dude, like, run after at least try to get through. Bro, he ran up to the guy. He's like, boom, and then like his player wasn't even near him. And he slowed up and stopped. Like the guy was pushing him back, and I'm like, "Come on, man! Like, what is that bullshit?"
Oh yeah, he waited to speed up his run until someone was going to be. He knew someone was going to be there.
I was
to catch
so
him
mad about that. I was like, "All right, Bryce, cool." Like, I know the manager was probably like, and the GM was like, "Don't hurt your elbow, god damn it!" I could see him like throwing a punch, and like all of a sudden he like reopens his arm, and it's like, ah.
You hear like the whole crowd go silent. You just hear from a box up above, no. GM screaming.
There goes $40 million down.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, like it is painfully easy to get Bryce Harper mad, and he gets mad.
Yeah, he goes 0 to 100, and it's just like boom, he's out like it's like roid rage almost.
Anyway, what's your third take?
My third take, not much movement. And I wanted to bring this up. There's not much movement anywhere. Teams are kind of staying where they're at. It's been the same kind of like a little bit of movement. Milwaukee overtook Pittsburgh in the Central in the NL, but there's not much movement. A lot of teams are staying right where they're at. Now, I have a question for you. Is this because it's not competitive, or it's very competitive, and teams are just, balancing each other out that way?
I would say it airs more on the side of more competitive, in the sense that, if I recall correctly, I don't necessarily have the standings directly in front of me, but if I recall looking at them earlier correctly, they do that last 10 column, and a lot of teams were like 4-6, 6-4, 5-5, 7-3. So like, I think it's more competitive and you just got teams that are winning and then losing and then winning and then losing. Like, they're balancing. Right. Everybody's record's kind of balancing out.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I noticed. That's what I was going to say too. I was going to say that, you're just seeing a lot more teams play at a higher level. I think this new pitch clock, we've mentioned it on previous shows, has played a factor at the end of the day. Pitchers aren't able to get into their sets enough. They have to pitch the ball. Also to that, I mean, can we make the rules like kind of concrete? Everything's kind of just like, maybe. Like, what was the play?
Violation.
What was the play you were talking to me about the other week about that? Like they like totally butchered it. I forget what it was, but it was.
I don't remember the teams.
It was the Padres, right?
I think it may have been the Padres. It was. So the pitcher steps off the mound. So you're allowed with the new rules, you're allowed 2 disengagements per batter in whatever form they are. Pitcher stepped off the mound. Umpire at home visibly shows, okay, that's 1. Then he threw a pickoff over to first because there's a runner on first. Base umpire goes, okay, that's 2.
Yeah.
He throws another pickoff. That's 3. That means the runner's allowed to move up, which the base umpire calls. He said, that's 3, runner, second base. As he should. Home plate umpire, who I believe, unfortunately, for the team that got screwed by the move, is the crew chief and therefore overrules all other umpires on the field, says, no, that's only his second. And it was the Brewers. It wasn't the Padres. It was the Brewers because it was Craig Counsell that got thrown out because he came storming out of the dugout going, what do you mean? You counted 1. He counted 2 of them. That's 3. If my math's correct, that's 3, which means my guy gets to go to second.
Right.
So, yeah. And so the Brewers got screwed out of having a runner in scoring position because it was 2 umpires counting disengagements that got mixed up.
Yeah. So it's like no one keeps track, but we can't go to review that at all, right? We can't go.
No,
and
that's
review
not
the
on
umpire
replay. No, we can't review
and
the umpires, just players.
But I think that should be if you're going to do that. And I know this is going a little off topic of what my number 3 take is, but if you're going to do that and you're not going to keep track of or have some way to keep track, you should go to the headphones and make it right. Because if you're going to call the runner back to first, that could be the difference between a run and a runner to third. So, but anyways, Mike, your 4th take of the week or 3rd, right?
4th,
4th,
because we essentially went through my 2nd.
All right.
My 4th is that you kind of actually alluded to it during the no movement one. It is the Pirates have seemingly fallen back to earth. At one point, they were 10 or 11 games above 500. They are now about 2 games above 500.
Yeah, 3 games, yep.
So the Pirates are not as bad of a team. Doesn't seem to be as bad of a team as they were expected to be, but looks like they may be settling back into what they actually are instead of like the hot start they got off of.
Yeah, and St. Louis has been on a tear lately. They've won 5 games. They're 16-25 right now. I think they won the series against the Red Sox. I know they were up big. I mean, when I watched it, I think it was Arenado, and he crushed one over the monster. And it was just like it was gone off the bat. But yeah, I mean, the Pirates are definitely, and this was without O'Neal Cruz, their best player too. Right. So I think they came back to but I think other teams are also playing a lot more competitive as well too. Yes. So looking at it, you got the Cubs, Reds. That division is a very big toss-up right now, as well as the NL East and as well as a few other divisions. The only division that really, the only team that's really out of it is the Royals and the Athletics right now. The rest of the teams are pretty much like, I mean, the Athletics don't even have a double-digit win. They're 9-33.
I think it's if one of, if not the worst start in MLB history through like the first 40 games.
Most likely. If not, I don't know if that's what they're going for, but
maybe. Man, the MLB draft usually doesn't work like that, but who knows? I don't know who the top prospect is supposed to be coming out of the draft, but maybe. I don't know.
But
what's your 4th?
My 4th is actually hitting on the point I said earlier was MLB baseball is now finally advertising that you can stream for $24 a month on their site.
Good.
Couldn't find it for the life of me when the season started. MLB, you would have gained $50 more from me. But I'm getting advertising all over the place. Hey, $24, $140 a year, $120 for the single team for a year. It's like, where was this? Like, did your marketing team just not like what? Like, and I'm not trying to bash the MLB at all on this, but you could not find it. Did they just now say, "Oh, let's roll this out to our own platform that you've been saying for years"? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why now I'm finally finding it, and I'm thankful because now I can watch the Yankees play over the next 5 months. But what happened to the first 2 months? Like. Nothing. I literally could not find it anywhere. in all over the MLB site. I tried to go on desktop. I went on my phone. I went on a tablet. Like, couldn't find where you could subscribe. There was a subscription, but it never said you could watch live games out of broadcast, out of your region. It said.
Right.
So I was just like at loss of words for it. So happy MLB. My fourth take is I'm happy that MLB finally is advertising it, because you lost out on some money, some big money for the first 2 months, and now you're probably going to gain some. But yeah, that's my fourth take.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for you to be able to finally watch the Yankees. Yeah. I didn't, in my, passing through the MLB website or the app or anything that I have, like, I never saw that either, or else I would have been like, hey, like, subscribe.
Right.
Like, you can do it. Yeah, so I can't imagine. Maybe they were listening to you. Maybe they heard what you said and were like, oh, maybe we should do that. He mad.
Get that subscription out.
and then Bryce Harper burst through the door.
That was my key. That's why he was out for so long. He didn't have Tommy John surgery. I just had him in MLB jail for a little bit because he busted through the doors of Commissioner Manfred. Yeah,
Manfred.
No, Manfred's office, and said,
"Yes,
John Sawyer needs to watch the Yankees. Turn it on. Turn on the subscription. Flip the switch.
Do it. Flip the Man, that'd be even more frustrating if Manfred just had a switch.
They come in like what you see on the President movies where it's like a briefcase. He has to give a code and everything.
Yeah.
What?
They call it the football, the nuclear launch codes. They call it the football.
Yeah. Yeah, you see them come in with it. It's a briefcase with MLB on it. It's like, here's your code. What? It's like you see it in the movies. They're like, what number are you? What number on the card are you? Third. Yeah. Okay. It's on.
All right. 12 keyholes. All right. 1, 2, 3. Click.
Turn.
Really?
Oh, shit. You turned the wrong way. We lost Seattle. Fuck.
No one watches them anyway.
Seattle Stadium just disappears.
Julio Rodriguez standing in a crater. What? Guys?
Hello?
Sign with the Yankees.
For real. All right, Mikey. We're on our fifth, our Cinco take of the week. What is your Cinco take of the week?
My Cinco take of the week is, despite Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back and swinging the bat pretty well, he's hitting .283 with 5 homers and 11 RBI since he returned, the Padres as a whole can't hit.
No, not at all.
Tatis' .283 leads the team through 31 games. However, as far as qualified at-bat numbers for the team, Xander Bogaerts, their $300 million man, is hitting like .265, and that's the team lead in average.
I mean, he's playing well, right? Like, he's playing better than he has in the last 2 or 3 years, but you're paying Juan Soto's salary, and he's making it very easy for you not to extend that guy. So, and then that Manny Machado, I'll save my comments on him. But
I think
it's definitely been interesting to see that team not succeed. I mean, I think they'll end up. They're only 3 games out of 500. 7 out of first. I think they'll turn it around here at some point. If not, you're going to see some deadline moves. I think for sure. But yeah, it's abysmal. I watched. I think it was Juan Soto almost swing out of his freaking cleats or something. It was something on not top 10 where he took a swing and it was like he swung out of his as they say, a swing out of his boots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. If I went last year to you and said, hey, what if I gave you a lineup that had Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, and Juan Soto in it, and I bet you they can't hit, you'd laugh at me that team can't hit. Those 3 at the heart of your lineup and you're not hitting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would me personally wouldn't laugh at you because
the average person.
We have that kind of same problem with when we had Rizzo, Judge, and Stanton in the playoffs. So, I mean, and touche to Rizzo, by the way. Dude's hitting the ball like it's a beach ball. It's incredible. It's awesome to watch him hit the ball. I love it.
Player of the week?
Yes,
AL
as
player of the
deserved.
Oh.
He snubbed out Volpe though. No. I love Volpe,
Volpe should
man.
be rookie of the month though. Honestly,
Volpe. I love Volpe though. He's gonna be rookie of the year. What do you mean?
No, well,
if he continues on this streak, he will definitely win.
100%, 100%.
If he bats and plays the way he has, yeah, easily,
100%.
he'll run away with it. All right, my final one. I know my takes haven't really been about specific teams or players or anything like that, and this is basically like what I'm looking at right now for the first 2 months, month and a half into the season. We're in the middle of May. It is May 15th, and are we going to see a record in pitchers dealt at the deadline? Because that seems to be the Achilles heel to a lot of these teams that we're talking about. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, Cardinals, the Phillies. Even though Phillies are in second now, they've worked their way back up. The Astros, are these teams going to make some really big moves to go supply their bullpen? Because over the last 2 or 3 years, the team that has 4 starting rotation in the playoff, a 4-man starting rotation in the playoff, tends to win the World Series or contend for the World Series. I know you say before that it's not, but Yankees got to get some pitchers. Philadelphia's got to get their pitchers going. Like a lot of these teams, like the Mets are a laughing stock of the NL East right now because of the budget that they've just ultimately decided to throw at every player that's not performing. Right. So will we see a record in pitchers dealt at deadline?
No.
You don't think so?
In fact, we may see a record of pitchers dealt at the deadline, the least amount of pitchers dealt at the deadline. Because really? I think even the bottom teams are noticing the same thing. And if they have a good pitcher seems to be a hot, especially with the new rules, seems to be a hot commodity. And so if they want to win, they're going to hang on to them because they don't know if they're going to get another one or be able to replace that same guy when they do have. It's easier to build your 3 to 4 man rotation if you've already got one of them to start.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. I just see some of the teams that are going to go towards the bottom at the deadline that are going to be at the bottom, maybe get rid of, the teams that usually do the rebuild. And I swear, Mike, if the Yankees go and get an athletics pitcher at the deadline, I will flip my desk.
I don't
want to see one pitcher from the Athletics come to the Yankees at the deadline and then hear 2 months in he's hurt. You bastard.
Not again. I can honestly say at this point, I don't think Oakland has any pitchers left that anyone wants.
Yeah, really.
I think AJ Puck was the last one, and he got dealt to the Marlins in the offseason.
Well, and talking about the Athletics and Yankees, what is up with Sonny Gray?
He's everywhere but New York.
And Chapman. Chapman has like 12 saves right now.
Yeah, and he's throwing.
No. He doesn't have 12 saves because they don't have 12 wins. But he has like 8 or 9 saves for the Royals. Yeah.
And he's back to throwing 102.
Average.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see where he's at right now. He's had. I mean, they haven't had a lot of save opportunities, but he's pitching a 3.6. He has 1 save. I'm sorry, but he has 23 Ks, 3.68 ERA, and he's only pitching, I think, only a few innings here.
How many does he have? Any holds?
What is 11?
Yeah, okay. So they're not using him as a closer. It's the thing, but that means he's set up for a save opportunity like 11 times.
Yeah, he's under a relief pitcher now, so
which is still
he's
good.
Not a closer.
That's
incredible.
Good.
Like I'm just like, God damn it, these guys just perform in New York, man.
It's tough.
It's not
playing in
old.
New
It's
York,
not.
man.
It's not old George though. We don't have old George looking over
It's
your
not.
shoulder.
I know, but it's not
Like
about George.
it's
It's
the
about the
media.
media. It's the
The
100% the
media.
media.
It's the media and the fan base. Fan base is brutal.
It's the expectation.
You go as bleacher creatures. You know
Yeah.
they're brutal out there. So it's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah. Did you do your fifth? Yeah, you did your fifth. I did my fifth.
Yes.
So yeah, pitchers at the deadline. You don't think there's going to be dealt? I think I just see some teams like saying, you know what, we're not really in the contention for the rest of the year. You know, let's go rebuild. Like the Reds maybe will be there. You know, trying to think of some teams, but
so the other thought I had on that was I don't know what of those bottom teams have pitchers that people want. A lot of the pitchers that people would want are already on the teams that would be trading for the pitchers.
yeah, I mean, there's always relief pitchers that you see there. Are you talking about just starters, or are you talking about relief too?
Overall, I mean, there's a lot of these bottom teams don't. I mean, Chapman might get, if he looks like this, Chapman might get picked up by somebody.
Yeah, not New York though.
Here's hoping they don't. No. I'm saying here's hoping they don't.
Oh, I was like, well, what the hell? You're done.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is single. This is a single show now.
I can see the Dodgers getting him, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see. But that's my take of the week right there for the fifth one. And thank you for everyone tuning in. We're here every single week. I know not every day, every week on the same time. But this has been the rotation week 5 for us. Halfway through the May season, but been a great MLB season so far. Really competitive. Love baseball. Mike, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's been a great season so far. I think it's only going to get better. Summer baseball is always some of the best baseball leading into the fall classic. I'm really excited to see all of like we've said before, the competition, the parity, and so we'll see where we go from here. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, my final thoughts are just, finally get to watch freaking Yankees baseball. So I'll let you know how I've been watching on Gamecast like I was when I was a kid. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you tune into our socials. We'll throw them up on a graphic here after this. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, iHeart Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Twitter. Make sure you go follow us everywhere. We'll be here every single week, giving you our 5 take a week, or I should say the rotation of the week. Ooh. And make sure you turn into our show here on Thursday. New episode dropping for Cinco Squad. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week.